Today we're going to have a little rant video today with talking about Sherlock Holmes, specifically the film starring Basil Rathbones as Sherlock Holmes and Nigel Bruce as Watson's. Now, back in, I believe, 2013 or 2014, when I was getting into these different interpretations of Sherlock's, I bought these DVDs to try and get into this series. For those of you who don't know, Basil Rathbone was one of the big Sherlock stars. It wasn't the first film series that we had. There are a few silent movies with a series of Sherlocks, and there were many big successful ones. However, this was the first massive one that put him in the mainstream for most people. I don't know if they were in the public domain when these came out, but Sherlock was a massive property in these times, and Basil Rathbone was a massive big actor during that time, starring a lot of Universal horror films as well. These DVDs are by Optimum Classics, which I thought, well, when you buy these, you think, right, they're going to be, you know, you don't need to do your research, the thing. And these DVDs, they are double billed, so they have 2 DVDs in them. So you would think, right, I'll just pick up a few, and I would have no trouble trying to, like, sort myself through. I just looked at the dates on the back, and made sure that, you know, one comes after the other. So I bought these ones thinking that these would be in the right order. Oh boy, was I wrong. So let's talk about the first one. The first one has The Hounds of the Baskervilles, which is the first time this was this is the first one where the Hounds of the Baskervilles became this massive, big Sherlock Holmes story. For those of you who don't know, Baskervilles is the most adapted story in film history. There are so many versions of this story that it's kind of ridiculous. And Sherlock it was already a big novel before this film came out. However, it was mainly just for like Sherlock Holmes fans, and it kind of like evened with the 4 big ones, which was the Scarlet, the first one, I can't remember what it's called, Hounds of the Baskervilles, The Signs of 4, and The Final Problem. They were the 4 big ones, and it was this film from 1939 that made it a big, massive deal, basically. So I highly watch it. It's brilliant, fantastic film. But, however, they paired this with The Voice of Terror, a story in which Sherlock Holmes is in World War II for some reason and fighting Nazis. Yeah, in this film, in the first film, he was in. It was set during like Sherlock Holmes time, Victorian times. But then when it came to The Voice of Terror, they actually put Sherlock Holmes in 1939, the modern times for that story. So what's the problem? Well, you see, The Voice of Terror is the 3rd film, and Hounds of Baskervilles is the 1st. In between these 2 films, there was one called just simply The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So that's really annoying. And my first thoughts was, after doing some research, is that that one is owned by 20th Century Fox, whilst after that, they were done by Universal when we had it into World War II. And I thought maybe they didn't have the rights to have that one. There's only a massive problem with that. Hounds of the Baskervilles is also 20th Century Fox. So, what the hell? Also, it's strange to notice as well that I'm holding a DVD that has both a 20th Century Fox and Universal film. Very bizarre. I mean, that is just so awkward, you know, and you can't thing. And usually with these kind of this kind of deal is that I'll just take the DVDs out and make my own covers, and then, you know, have a problem. There's only one problem with that. Both the films are on a single disc. So that's really frustrating. So yeah, you know, the first and the third film. And, you know, maybe there was like a licensing issue with 20th Century Fox where they could only get the first one. So I thought maybe, that's not a big deal. However, I'm not going to remember which one it is now. Let's talk about this one. This is the second one I've got. It contains The Spider-Woman, which is a great film, in my opinion. It's nothing too spectacular, but it actually is a pretty good film. And it's also got Sherlock Holmes and the Pearl of Death, which is a really great film, and I highly recommend it. However, The Spider-Woman is the 7th film, and The Pearl of Death is the 9th film. In between them, there was The Scarlet Claw. Sorry if I mispronounced that. So yeah, there's a film in between these two, which I find absolutely frustrating. It came out in... Hold on. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, what? Hold on. Huh? Okay, something I've just noticed now, right? The Spider-Woman is the 7th film, and The Pearls of Death is the 9th film. 7th film and the 9th film. But for some reason it says The Spider-Woman is 1944, and The Pearl of Death, which is apparently after it, is 1933. So hold on, let me do a quick check it. So, it turns out there's a mistake on this. The Pearl of Death actually came out in 1944, the same year as the Spider-Woman. But for some reason on the back, it says, hold on, see if I can you see that? It says 1933. So wow, that's even more reason to hate the Optimum Classics collection. Hooray. So, what a load of rubbish. So, we got then the last box, which is Terror by Night and Dressed to Kill, which are, thankfully, the ones in order. However, these are the 13th and 14th one. So the last one I do actually are back-to-back, thankfully. Terror by Night and Dressed to Kill are the 13th and 14th, which is the final film in the series. So, hooray. These two are great films, by the way. Highly recommend these as well. So, these DVDs are absolutely frustrating. And the final nail in the coffin is that, you got these names on the spines, and they put them like back to back. But for some reason, they've put the one that came out before, on the right side, which is kind of annoying because I put the DVDs in a Western style, which is left to right. But here they put the name-ins right to left. So my options are to either have them backwards in my collection, or have them upside down like that, which is just God. It frustrates me as well because these are really great films, and especially when Sherlock Holmes was at its height of popularity in recent years, as you had those Benedict Cumberbatch TV series, and you had the Robert Downey Jr. films, and then in America you had Elementary, which is a great series with Johnny Lee Miller, I believe his name is, playing Sherlock. So I highly recommend those out. And I highly recommend these. Just don't find a different collection. And if you do, please let me know so I can get these, because these DVDs really put me off buying these, and these are the only ones that I've actually seen so far. So there you go, that's my rant over. I hope you enjoyed and learned something, because, you know, a lot of people now don't know about these films, and they don't even know that Sherlock Holmes has been going around since, I believe the first one is in 1902. So I hope you enjoyed this stupid rant. I just like talking about Sherlock Holmes. Bye.